Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so it's kind of cold in my room. You're going to bear with me. We're under here. But this is the deal. The Lakers are playing the Orlando Magic tonight at Crypto.com Arena. I believe the game's at 7:30. I believe it's at 7:30. And the Orlando Magic are a 2-win season team right now. And has only played 2 games, so they're perfect. They played against the Portland Trailblazers in the last one and the Houston Rockets in the first one. And in the Houston game, they really blew Houston completely out. Cole Anthony really played well in that game and has played well in both of these games. Markelle Fultz. So they got some strong guard play. And what I noticed is they had about 51 rebounds as a team against the Rockets. Really destroyed the Rockets on the boards. That's something we want to pay attention to. They had about 46 rebounds or something like that in the Blazer game. We got to pay attention to that. Now, they did have some moments down the stretch of the Blazer game where they gave up like a 13-point lead, coughed it all the way down to like 5 or something like that, but they still closed it out in the closing minutes. So they are a young team. They do have some things to learn, and of course, we can teach them a lesson with some of our vets. And so, this is a situation where I look at that Orlando team, and they shot pretty poorly from behind the arc in both of those games. They're not really looking to overly shoot, maybe attempt at the most probably like 33s if this trend continues. And they're going to look to attack you on the inside with their big players like Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter, Jonathan Isaac, who's made a real resurgence after a couple-year absence with a knee injury. He's completely in shape and dominating on really both ends. His shooting percentages have been good, and his shot blocking has just been terrorizing. So you're going to have to deal with the length of Jonathan Isaac, who before he got hurt was well on his way to all-star status. His jump shot was falling. He looked really good right before he got hurt. So he's back, and he looks great again. So you're going to have to watch out for him. He's a huge piece to what they do. Anthony Black had like 5 minutes of play, but actually had 2 blocks in that first game against the Rockets. That really stood out to me. In 5 minutes, he blocked 2 shots. This is a very dominant young player who is probably not going to get many minutes tonight, but when he does get on the floor, is able to impact the floor right away. Jet Howard is another young player, fantastic shooter. I don't think he's going to play very much, if at all, but is capable of lighting them up. So I don't know why I want to say the Rockets. The Orlando Magic have a very, very young but capable basketball club. Markelle Fultz, I think, could be an all-star someday. He looks great out there with the minutes given. And as I said, Cole Anthony has just kind of been the star running around off their bench, really giving them double-digit points and well above 7 assists. Franz Wagner, man, one of the best pure scorers in the game, if you ask me. You can't underestimate a 7-footer who can basically do all things: pass, shoot, drive at the rim. He doesn't really have too many holes at all. Paolo Banchero, last year's Rookie of the Year. Paolo, when you look at him, to the eyesight, he doesn't look as big as he is, but this dude is massive, man. When you see him stand next to LeBron James, you're going to understand he's almost the same size and weight and height as Bron. He's huge, man. He's about 250 pounds of basically pure muscle, and he's one of the most lethal pure scorers in basketball today. Still developing as a young player, but boy, does he have a lot of natural ability. Somebody that played with Austin Reeves on that team USA basketball club in off season, and so he's gonna look to try to terrorize us tonight. Wendell Carter's had some very good rebounding games as well. You got to worry about Wendell Carter, another huge body down there. They just got a massive team that they can use, off their bench and their starters could just really put pressure on you, rebounding the basketball. So we're gonna have to be very careful not to underestimate this team. You know what I'm saying? They're just extremely talented. You got a guy like Gary Harris coming off the bench who could steal the ball. He's a good defensive player. Of course, Jonathan Isaac is already mentioned. They got Joe Ingles on this team. He's also back there doing things, capable. And Chuma Okeke is a player they have. Caleb Houston. They used their bench. That's another thing I noticed. I don't know if it was because they had so much garbage time against the Rockets. That's probably what it was. But just about everybody on their team played, and they got a lot of bodies to throw at you. But, the main course meal is basically Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Markelle Fultz, and look out, of course, for Cole Anthony off the bench. Also, Jalen Suggs, another player who's had some injury issues over the course of the last couple of years. Was drafted, I think, 5th overall 2 or 3 years ago. Is now healthy and getting starters minutes with this team. Shooting percentages have not been great, but he's doing things defensively that we need to be very aware of. Ambidextrous player with a football background, definitely not a small guard. Just another physical player that you're gonna have to deal with. So it's no coincidence to me that the Orlando Magic have beaten the Portland Trail Blazers and the Houston Rockets in pretty impressive fashion. Doing exactly what they need to do defensively to establish themselves there. And that's kind of what their coach was saying. After they had a huge block, I believe it was Jonathan Isaac on Amen Thompson in the first game they played against the Rockets. Jonathan Isaac picked up a technical, and I read somewhere that the coach said, no, that's exactly what we don't mind that you had a taunting technical on that play, because we are trying to establish ourselves as a shot blocking team, whatever that looks like. We're going to protect the rim. So we got to understand that they're looking to rim protect tonight. And if we come out there lackluster just because it's the Magic, it could be a bad night for us. Now, of course, the LA Lakers are coming off of a loss against the Sacramento Kings just last night. They lit the beam on us, unfortunately, you guys. And we talked a lot about it. I encourage you to go check out the videos I made on that game. But essentially, we got into overtime, which means we could be a little fatigued tonight, and ultimately weren't able to out-execute that team as they just hit shot after shot after shot on us down the stretch of the game. But, Anthony Davis had a nice game with 30 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. So he's in a nice rhythm to start the season, even though he only played well in the first half of the first game against Denver. He's had 30 points in the last 2 games against Phoenix and Sacramento, respectively. And, of course, LeBron James has been putting a lot of pressure on the rim. His assist numbers are up this season. He's looking pretty good. His 3-point shooting is a bit better than it's been. So he's just all the way around playing better for us this year than he did last year, if you ask me, through 3 games. Taurean Prince had 20 points, several shots from behind the arc. Not really the ones we needed him to hit. The clutch ones weren't falling for us, but we did have a nice overall shooting performance there. And then, of course, we got to mention Austin Reeves, who was 1 for 12, had a god-awful basketball game last night. Hopefully that doesn't carry over into the home game against Orlando. But he was about as bad as he's ever been, probably on any floor at any time. I mean, just 1 for 12. We couldn't even play him down the stretch, even though we could definitely use his talent. But when he's playing like that, he's unplayable, and that's just what it was. And we just, unfortunately, have to try to see if he's shooting his way out of that shooting slump just less than 24 hours later, which is really a struggle. But, I like what I saw from Christian Wood in very limited minutes. He was perfect, 3 for 3, 2 threes hit, but we didn't give him enough minutes. Hopefully that means we'll give him a lot of minutes tonight since it's a back-to-back. And Rui Hachimura also snapped out of his shooting slump and scored pretty solid for us off the bench in, again, limited minutes, just like Christian Wood. We saw a lot of Gabe Vincent yesterday, and I complained about it, as I often do, about players that Coach Ham likes to run that are under 6'3", give him like 32 minutes, and he does hardly nothing. That's kind of what we got out there, professional jogging out of him. But he's capable of helping you on the defensive end, and of course can hit shots when he's on. But I would love for us to expand our roster a bit, use some guys that we haven't used since this is a back-to-back, use some young guys since this is a young team. And not try to run the same people we ran last night in the same rotations, for they should be probably a bit gassed after last night's performance. I want to see more Jackson Hayes. I want to see the Maxes, Max Christie, Max Lewis. Unfortunately, Vanderbilt will not be out there. He is still out. But I did not see Jalen Hood-Schifino on the injury report today, so hopefully that means he'll be back to start his season with the LA Lakers. Cam Reddish struggled a little bit out there. He's been struggling with his shot selection. He's just going to need to take more reps. I don't know what to say. He's just not quite as developed as you would think a player of his caliber would be at this stage in his career, but there's a lot of work to be put in, and we have the developing environment for which he can get better. So hopefully that can be the case, but I think our coach should probably move him around a bit in the rotation, maybe move up the Maxes a little bit, and let's see if they can do some things for us in this game. So that's my thing, man. If I'm going to be any complaining, It's just going to be about who Darvin Ham chooses to use in a given moment. If you're going to use Taurean Prince and Gabe Vincent, and you're going to play them a combined total of like 70 minutes in a basketball game, you're not going to get the most out of your team. I'm sorry. Those guys are good players. They're nice role players, but they should not be relied upon with that type of minutes. I mean, Taurean Prince had more minutes than LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? At a minus 10 with 20 points, I don't need that, fam. And so that's what it is. We can expand our bench, go into that bag of young players, and see if those little youngsters can run around there and do some good things. A lot of them are highly, highly talented, and all you got to do is empower them. Yeah, they're going to make some mistakes, but they're going to get better sooner. And a basketball floor is a basketball floor, man. A lot of times our coaches and around the league, they think they need to play vets because players, for some reason, can't perform on an NBA basketball floor until halfway through the season in these people's mind, which is absolutely asinine to me. Given the fact that a lot of these teams are doing that to each other, some of your young players who are better than some of these role players could probably beat these role players right now out the gate. But you never get a chance to see that because there's a foregone conclusion that your young players can't play. I think that a guy like Max Lewis probably go out there and average 12 points already if we would have played him regular minutes. But instead, we want to keep on overusing guys who are only but so good, man. It just is what it is. Rui Hachimura, I want to see more of him. And when he's scoring, when he's on, he can help us both on the defensive end and the offensive end. When you got a guy like Christian Wood playing as well as he is, given the fact that he ain't hardly had no run over the last 2 years, there's nothing about this situation that makes any sense in regards to only using him at 16 minutes when we obviously are a better basketball team offensively with him on the floor and have had offensive issues. So, he rebounds the ball as well as anybody on our team as well. It just makes all the sense in the world to up his minutes to 32 minutes rather than playing Taurean Prince and Gabe Vincent all them damn minutes when they ain't that at all. So that's really where I'm at. That's my personal frustration with my roster. I just think that you're getting the results of what comes with playing with average players. You get average results. And I know we don't have an average roster. We got a much better roster. We just don't want to use those guys. So yeah, please run Jackson Hayes, man. The boy is absolutely, utterly athletic, and just like everybody else we've talked about, he doesn't play very much. He didn't play much with the New Orleans Pelicans, but he can jump out the gym at like 7 feet tall. There's no reason not to get easy buckets with a guy like that. There's no reason not to run a pick and roll lob play with a guy like that. He can help you, and especially blocking shots and stuff like that. You just got to use that stuff, Darvin. So that's where I'm at, man. Going up against the Orlando Magic team, you best believe I want to see those young players on the floor because they're going to put young players on the floor. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Suggs and Anthony and Markelle. Those dudes are young, man. They ain't no old men. Markelle Fultz is going to play well tonight. I just want to let y'all know that. Be ready for that. He's going to play above average tonight. It's just a Laker game. He does play well against us. He has historically had good games at Staples/Crypto. He's going to play well tonight. I see it coming. It's a Markelle Fultz night. So be ready. He can assist. He's very, very crafty. He's pretty athletic. He's overcome all of his issues with injuries over the years and the various different things that he had to deal with. He is now just a young player in a good rhythm. And I know better, man. I know it. I feel it coming. It's going to be a Markelle Fultz night. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, uber talented scorers, huge 7-foot bodies. You're going to have to put good size on the floor to match up with these two. And Wendell Carter, 3 for that matter. They're all 3 of them 7-footers, man. All 3 of them rebound the ball. All 3 of them shoot the ball. All 3 of them can play some defense. So you just got to respect what Orlando's doing down there. And, of course, again, Jonathan Isaac. He wasn't a part of the team for the last 2 years. But right now, he looks as spry as he did before he got hurt. And is definitely helping that basketball team defensively. That's his calling card. He locks people up and he blocks shots and gets steals. So expect for him, the more they play him, the better he's going to play. And eventually he's probably going to try to find his way into that starting lineup. So, yeah, this is a talented team, man. They can't even find minutes for their rookies that they just picked up because they have such talented guards, which is not surprising to me, which is why they shouldn't have drafted guards. But nevertheless, it's Orlando, so they're going to do stuff. But all in all, I just know that if the Lakers don't pick up their defensive side of the ball, Orlando can score. And if we don't score the ball better, Orlando can defend. So it is, redundantly speaking, you got to do those things in order to succeed. I don't expect that this is a bad team. Now I don't know if they're as good as their record. Obviously, I don't think they're that good, but their players are ascending in value. They're just getting better with every passing game. These are high level guards. Most of these dudes are not role players. They're the ones I mentioned. They got all-star upside or even better in some cases. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Paolo go for 33 points tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see Franz go for 35 points, something like that. They're capable of that. In fact, you should expect it from them on a very good night. Markelle can go for 30 and 8, 30 and 10. Cole Anthony can go for 25 and 8. Like these are extremely capable basketball players that they're running down there. So if you think you're not going to have a good Austin Reeves game, or you think you're going to get away with playing, Gabe Vincent 40 minutes tonight, believe me, they're going to run circles around them dudes. I'm telling you right now. Just like De'Aaron Fox did, they're going to do the same damn thing. So I'd like us a little bit better with Anthony Davis and LeBron James out there. The experience that we have with those vets, champions, should likely be able to overcome those guys. I just like us a little better in that way. But our guard play, if it does not improve, we're going to have a hard time, man. We're going to have a hard time. If we don't have enough Rui Hachimura playing at a high level to offset whatever's going to be coming at us with them forwards, it's going to be a long game, man. So I don't take this little Orlando Magic team lightly. We have this game against them today, and then we see them again on the 4th, which is like 5 days from now. So we're going to be done with the Magics within the first week of the season, which I think is a little weird, but that's just how it goes. And just like we're not going to be able to see Milwaukee till the end of the season, which is also very strange. But, yeah, we're going to be getting them out the way this week. So let's get familiar with the players that they got on this team. And if we do not do what we need to do properly, we will get beat. They don't shoot the free throw very well as a team, it seemed. In those first 2 games, that was not really their strength. Just like the three-point ball wasn't their strength. But they do make up for it defensively and have had double-digit leads in both of the games they've been in against the Rockets and the Blazers, who are struggling teams. And so are we, a struggling team. So it's one of them things where it's like, if we want to be better than them, we had better play better than us in these last 3 games we've been playing. So, yeah, man, Austin Reeves got to snap out of that, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with Austin Reeves. 1 for 12? I don't know what the hell going on with Austin Reeves. You better get to the rim, man. There's all them little jump shots and all that stuff you're doing, it ain't falling, bro. And so, it's concerning because it's like we need him to play well in order for us to be good. Especially the way Darvin Ham rotates this team. If he ain't gonna play well, it just diminishes some of what it is we got to use. So, yeah, man, that's what it is. I don't know, man. These Lakers through 3 games, they've been kind of average, man. I give us about a D+. We ain't that good right now. Bron looks good. AD looks good. Christian Wood looks pretty good. We got players playing well, but as a unit, nah, we look about as mediocre as any other mediocre basketball squad right now. So I hope that that's just a sign of us trying to learn ourselves. Obviously, more practice time will make us better. But I think expanding our bench to players that we haven't used and pulling up some guys that Darvin doesn't believe in yet is really the answer. Max Christie, Max Lewis. Obviously, we want our G League guys back, Castleton and Demoy Hodge. They're not G Leaguers for this roster. They should actually be in regular rotation, if you ask me, especially Colin Castleton. And get the big guys on the floor. Anthony Davis and Christian Wood play great together. I would love to see that be the starting front court and just move Bron to the 3. You know what I mean? I don't need Taurean Prince out there like that. Why I need him out there like that? That could be Rui Hachimura. That could be Max Christie. That could be Max Lewis. Like, we got 3s and 4s that we need to be playing. Obviously, when Vanderbilt gets back, he's going to be taking minutes from somebody. So I just don't like how we're diminishing our roster so that we can just fit average Taurean Prince in there. He plays good D's, hitting shots, but he ain't that, man. He ain't no 40-minute guy. Stop it. So these are the things I just want Darvin to not do. And I promise you stop playing average players, you stop getting average results. It's that simple. Y'all know I'm harsh, but I don't care, man. I've been a Laker fan for over 30 years, bro. I don't have no patience for bull crap. I got 6 NBA championships as a fan, maybe even 7 if you want to count some of them 80s championships, 8 of them in my lifetime. I don't have patience for mediocrity, man. And that is what I'm seeing is a mediocre, use of my deep basketball squad. We got one of the deepest teams in the league. And we're using guys that ain't doing nothing, overusing the cold hand, not feeding the hot hand, just stupid stuff, man. Christian Wood only had 3 attempted shots. He made all 3 of them. 2 of them from behind the arc. We stopped feeding them. And you lose that game. Like, what are we doing, man? That's what it really comes down to. So I want Darvin to get his act together. I don't know what type of stuff he's got in mind for the course of the season to try to work everybody into play. But starting the season, giving minutes to your average guys and no minutes to your young guys, it's going to give you the results that come with that, man. So this is a game against the Orlando Magic. They're not barn burners, but they have won their first 2 games. And with Jonathan Isaac and Cole Anthony playing this well off the bench, if you don't straighten up your bench issues, they're going to be taking leads from us even if we get them against Paolo and Franz. Also, Mo, ex-Laker. We've had a theme here this year where ex-Lakers come back whooping up behind. Malik Monk, KCP, Mo Wagner's coming in tonight. He was 8 for 8 in the last game against Portland. 8 for 8. So that, Franz ain't the only Wagner we need to be concerned with, because that dude is coming off a monster game. So I'm not letting that go without being said. They have a deep Orlando roster with kids that they could be using that could light you up too. Jet Howard, Juwan's kid, he can light you up. He's a big-time shot maker, executing player. That's what he does. I don't think they'll use him, but if they decide to, he can go up. Anthony Black, defensive player, huge body. He can go up. So do not think for 1 second you're going to get away with playing mediocre players just because they didn't put in a bench. You better keep on your toes because Orlando has that type of depth. So that's pretty much what I got to say. Everybody enjoy the game tonight at LA, 7:30, I believe it is, against the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.